Hi and welcome to VMM Diaries, a unique and new series that we've crafted and created for our audience. So it'll be a little series where I answer all questions regarding why I started VMM and everything and anything to do with VMM, what we do, what we stand for, what we represent, what we're trying to achieve behind the brand VMM, and much more than that. So welcome to VMM, and my colleague will be asking all the questions, and I will do my very best to answer to the best of my abilities. This is my first time doing this. I'll be very nervous at a lot of points, but just bear with me. With time, I'll get used to being in front of the camera and relax a lot. So yes, welcome to our first episode of VMM Diaries with Thomasina.
So, welcome everybody. Hi, Steph.
Hi.
Thomasina. Sorry, I beg your pardon. What does VMM stand for, first of all?
VMM simply, let me introduce myself properly. My name is Thomasina, Regard Legend, and I'm the founder and editor-in-chief of VMM, Voix Meets Mode. So to answer your question, Voix Meets Mode simply stands for Voice Meets Fashion, Art, Design, anything to do with creativity. So that's what it basically means and stands for.
Tell us about the start of your journey in curating this publication. How did you get started? What inspired you to start this publication?
So VMM, Voix Meets Mode, VMM was started when I was at university. I went to London College of Fashion in London, and it was, in my first year of uni, we were given a project to create our own individual magazines, and I birthed VMM at that stage, at that point. What inspired VMM? Gosh, so many different reasons came together for me to birth the magazine and the platform. So yeah, VMM started at uni, and it has been a long journey to craft it and create it into this body of work, this brand that you're beginning to see now.
So you mentioned briefly just now about creating this platform. What exactly is that? What is the platform that you're creating? Who is it for? What exactly is the mission statement for the publication?
So basically the platform is for creative minds. As a creative person myself, I feel like there are not enough places where I can go to feel like, I can be inspired by other people's stories and journeys. So I thought about, focusing on the process. So the day-to-day, what you go through as a creative individual, the struggles you face, the challenges you face. And it's important for me to let other creatives know that this journey it's a day by day. Nothing is done overnight. Success doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, and it's so important for other creatives to know what other creatives are going through. We all feel like when we're going through our individual crises or situations, we feel like it's unique to us, but believe you me, other successful people are also went through what you're probably going through. So it's important to read other stories, to feel a connection with people that you feel like, oh my god, they actually struggled like that. Oh, I didn't know that. Because our generation, we're being pumped with success stories. We're not being pumped or being shown the other side, the stress people go through to set up businesses, the frustrations, the anxiety, the mental blocks, the mental deprivation. You know, it's a lot for a creative individual, and I believe that it's important to tell these stories alongside elevating creativity to its highest point. Yeah.
Coming from the background of being a student at the at LCF, and this journey starting for you at university, what was your university experience? What age did you go to university, and how did that help you put together this platform for students and people coming out of university, other graduates and so forth?
Oh, yeah. I went to uni as a mature student. That was like 10 years ago. So in 2010, I was working full-time as a transport clerk for a really good company, but I wasn't happy with it. I knew deep down that, you know, I wanted to do something within the creative industry, and I couldn't just ignore that craving, that longing. And one day I just woke up, I discussed with my husband, and I said, you know what, I need to do what I need to do, and that means going back to school. Then I need to do that. So I had to give up full-time work and then go back to full-time education. It wasn't easy. You're in class with young people younger than you. I went to uni when I was in my late 20s, so it was an eye-opener. It wasn't a bad experience, not at all, because there were other, you know, mature students there, which is a good thing about uni as well. You get to see other people and share experiences from a different perspective. So it was good to see that there were other people, you know, my age, not as much as I would have loved it, but it is what it is. I'm just glad that there were other creative minds my age at the time that I started my journey, my educational journey, with creativity. So yeah.
In leaving university and starting this process, I guess, alone, without the support of the institution that you graduated from, what are some of the challenges you have faced? Do you feel like you were equipped in terms of the business side of things?
To be honest with you, with every business aspect of fashion and design, you're not really equipped when you leave uni. We're taught a lot the theoretical side of things and the practical side of things, but we're not really taught the business aspects as much as we would like to. I'm not saying they don't, you know, throw in a topic. You don't get the basics of, you know, what you need, you know, accounting, setting up your business and all of that. So no, I wasn't equipped. I just had to learn as I went. I think my passion and my desire to do something unique, something different, and something completely different from the norm of what we see every day, especially within magazine publications and fashion design, just kept me going. I've made a lot of mistakes, don't get me wrong. Would I go back and change it? Yes, probably not, because it's taught me so much. Maybe I would have learned or done things differently and gotten more recognized quicker. But again, I wouldn't change everything, because it has given me a lot of lessons along the way, and those are more valuable than being recognized immediately, because sometimes being recognized immediately, getting that success immediately, can be detrimental, especially when you're not ready to be, you know, at the, you know, center stage of everything, where you don't have everything all together. So I'm glad that I made all the mistakes. I'm glad that I didn't have all that I needed, but it's with business, it's with everything. You have to learn as you go. I like this new quote that is flying around on social media, where it says, if someone offers you a job and you feel like you're not equipped to do it, just say yes and learn along the way. And I feel like my journey has been about that. It's just about learning along the way. And also it has taken so many years, painful years, but that is what learning is. It's day to day, it's long, it's a journey basically. And this is again the message that I need to convey through VMM. It's a journey, it's a process. We need to stop making people think that, you know, when you start a business it becomes successful immediately. It doesn't. Realistically, it takes at least 5 years for your business to take ground and start making profit, and, you know, paying your staff and all of that. So it makes sense. So I need now to get that message across to my audience, be they from uni, graduates, startups, or even people that are already, you know, settled in business, in creative business.
Talking about your day-to-day, you're also a mother of one.
Yes, I am. Yes.
How does that impact you now? Obviously, trying to launch and, you know, maintain your business, as well as, you know, being a wife and being a mother. Yeah. I mean, how does that go?
It has been very difficult. She's 3 years old, so I'm not exactly new anymore. But in terms of my first child, it's all still very new to me. It has been, I don't talk about it very much because I'm still trying to figure out all my emotions and trying to figure out how to verbalize how I feel. I've never been able to do that a lot. So even you asking me this is kind of like on the spot, but I will try and put into words just a little bit. It has been very challenging for me because I suffered with really bad depression when I had it, but I didn't know I was depressed. I don't know if you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
Because I felt like it was coming at a bad time for me. Yeah. I felt like at the time I had it, I was in my final year of uni. I was just about to go into my final year of uni, and I was, you know, pumped with trying to get VMM off the ground. At the same time, I was up and about, meeting people, going to fashion shows, networking. And as soon as I found out I was pregnant, I just felt like terrified all at once. I was just like, oh my God, everything is going to go messed up for me. Like, I'm going to have to be, you know, that stereotype where you feel like, okay, because you're pregnant and you're a mother, you don't fit the norm anymore. So, and that haunted me for a very long time. When I was pregnant with her, I couldn't go out. I was physically, mentally withdrawn, ashamed of my body, the way things had taken shape. That affected my business as well because I couldn't go out and meet people. And then when I had her, I was having, you know, struggles with school, trying to finish my dissertation. It was a whole jumble of a mess, you know, which I'm still trying to heal from and trying to, you know, figure out who I am, what I am, not just as a woman, trying to figure out how do I fit this one person into being a mom, a businesswoman, and a wife, and how do I, you know, make it work for me without fitting into, like, you know, what a stereotype, you know. But it has been challenging, very challenging. It has been emotionally draining, but one thing that keeps me going is my family, their belief in me, and my passion for the work that I started. So anytime I'm low, I always go back to work. I put everything into creating what I'm doing, or the next volume of VMM. So it takes away my concentration from all the other anxieties that I'm probably having at the same time. So yeah, being a mother has been really challenging. I'm still trying to find my way. God, honest truth. Yeah. You can see how stressed I am when I talk about it. A lot of people don't know this side of me, and I think I said to myself, one of my biggest goals, because I hate saying the word resolutions, one of my biggest goals this year is just to come as I am, just to be me, and just to own my imperfections, be it as a mother, as a wife, as a businesswoman, whatever. Even if I don't look the part, I have been told numerous times that I don't look the part. But looking the part is not, it used to be important to me, but it's not anymore. It's about doing the work. And if my work's, I need my work to speak for itself. And so many people have told me, including you, that it does. So everything else is secondary and doesn't matter.
Amazing. So we can see to the side of you there, we have your first ever issue. Can you speak to us about that a little bit?
Yes. Genesis. I believe when I did my first uni project, I did a little showcase volume. If actually I can show you what that looks like. Okay, so I told you I was going to get my uni project, so that's it. That was my very first attempt at creating, a print magazine for school. As you can see, it's still a bit, but it was our very first, and it gave us that push and that, ability that we could do anything. I remember the sleepless nights it took to create this baby.
I remember.
And Eddie will probably watch this and laugh, because obviously this carries a lot of weight and a lot of memories for all of us, because it has birthed a vision that, is in the making. But yes, this was my first title showcase. So after this got really good reviews at uni, and one of my tutors told me it was so good, I should think about, not letting it die. So I thought to myself, okay, why not start a magazine? At the time there were so many magazines on the market, and I couldn't identify myself with a lot of them, because a lot of the stories in there I just didn't find appealing to my situation, because as a mature student, I was going through a lot of struggles, and I just had a lot of questions, and I just wanted to know how other people were doing with their journeys. I wanted to know the struggles they were facing, how they succeeded in their businesses, how they faced challenges, what lessons they learned. No one was talking about that. All of a sudden you're a success, but you're not. How did you do that? Like, how did that happen for you? What are the challenges? No one was giving me that. So I just knew that there was something out there for me to explore, and I just ran with it. A lot of people did say to me that print was dead, it was dying, there was no point. So I started online. Volume 1 and 2 were actually online. I only did sample prints for myself, but when I decided to do volume 1 properly for VMM, I titled it Genesis, because I felt like it was the beginning of my creative journey. And for every platform, for anything out there, there's a beginning. So to me, Genesis, this is Genesis. Genesis was just
the appropriate name.
Yeah, the perfect name, and the perfect way to introduce something different, something unique. So that's why Genesis was birthed, like the title Genesis, a beginning. So yeah.
A lot of people that have seen the current issues of the magazine, based on the quality of the aesthetic, as well as the quality of the written work in the magazine, people might not believe that you do most of it in your little apartment, at your little computer, at your little desk, and that you're not a big company or corporation with endless amounts of money backing you. I know you spoke about not knowing what the challenges were when you first stepped into this. So far, what are some of the challenges that I guess have scared you the most? I know there's obviously things like finances.
Yes, finances has to be one of the biggest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Finding printers, getting in touch with contributors. What would you say has been like your biggest eye opener so far?
One of my biggest eye openers, I mean, finances will be up there, but not as up there as awareness. I'm not great with social media tools and all of these things. I've been, creating the brand by myself on social media, and it's, some people start something and it just blows up. They have 10,000 followers. Don't get me wrong, a lot of people buy followers and all that, but there's some really true platforms that I follow now that start, and then they have the right connections to help them to market what they're doing. I've never had that. So that has been one of my biggest challenges till today. I've perfected the product, by getting it out there has been one of the challenges. I thought, okay, stocking it in bookstores would help, but that is a topic for another day. That is a crisis for another day. One we will talk about on another episode. But yeah, finances is not even as up there as getting awareness to your work. I've been doing this for 6-7 years now, and I'm still struggling to get people to understand, like, maybe it's me, maybe it's my lack of knowledge of branding and marketing and all of those things, and getting the right people. Again, finances now comes into it, where I don't have the financial standing to hire people to boost it up as I would like. But I'm happy I'm where I'm at, because I believe in one thing: God's timing. It's taken me a long time to come to terms with this and to fully believe and appreciate this, but I'm learning to appreciate and learn and know that, what, when God's time is when God says it's time, everything will fall together. But until then, I'll keep working, I'll keep doing my very best, and I'll keep putting together my vision. And I know that in due time, the right connections will come together to help me to blow up this vision. So yeah, that has got to be one of my biggest challenges. Getting awareness to the brand, for the brand. Yeah. What else would you say?
Yeah, I think working alongside you, definitely the brand awareness.
Yeah.
Has been a challenge.
We've done, because we do what we need to do. We upload content to all our social media platforms. We have a
beautiful website.
We have a beautiful website. We the whole focus is around our books, and is trying to get the content, creating the content now to push to the website, and getting people to visit the website as well, because trying to get our numbers up really has been one of the biggest challenges. You can have a great product, but if your numbers are not up there, no one wants to work with you, no one wants to help you, no one wants to sponsor you, no one wants to, which is understandable. It's all business. What are they going to get in return if you don't have a big platform for them to sell what they're trying to sell? It doesn't work. So it's completely understandable. But it doesn't mean, and this is why I always say to creative, it doesn't mean that it stops you from doing what you need to do. Keep doing your best, keep putting the work in, and keep working, because you just never know. You just never know who will see you and be there to help you. And that is what I talk about: timing, God's timing. And I know that it will happen for VMM.
Definitely will. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in to our first episode of
Thank
VMM
you.
Diaries, and we'll see you again next week.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.